This is a excerpt from Beyond Fear. Like I said, it's by Don Miguel Ruiz. Um, let's just get into it. The Jesus I found in my meditations was 90% different from the Jesus presented in his church. I do not agree with the last 1500 years of Christianity at all. The original Christianity was when Jesus was in his body. He taught a way of life almost exactly like the Toltecs. Jesus gave us immense gifts. He gave us forgiveness. Forgiveness was his way of cleaning the poison from our mind. Forgiveness is the only way to heal the roots of all the emotional poison that we have. Forgiveness is an act of self-love. Once you forgive, there will be scars there, but you will not hurt. Forgiveness is the great gift from Jesus. The whole culture in Jesus' time was placing blame. The Jewish religion was still barbarian. In the temple, they had to sacrifice animals to a bloody god. In the Bible, Moses describes how to make a sacrifice, how to dispense the blood in the tabernacle, and how to burn the sacrifice. It was fanatical. They followed the letter, not the spirit of the law. They believed in a judging God. Jesus was in conflict with this religion that preached fear of a God who is jealous and will punish you. Jesus practiced love. This is his main gift. He did not say an eye for an eye. He said, love your neighbor as yourself. It was not easy for Jesus to teach his knowledge to those who did not want to hear it, so he taught in parables. He made his listeners understand with love. When he talked, they were trance-like, and they shared the silent knowledge of unconditional love. Jesus was really a king from the dynasty of David. The Romans had put a false king in place. Those in the house of David expected a Messiah to recover the kingdom. Jesus' real father was a zealot, a rebel warrior named Judas. He tried to overthrow the Romans, but he failed and was killed. He did not know that Mary was pregnant when he died. Mary was just a teenaged girl. Those who were in the house of David expected her to bear a son who would continue the lineage. They chose a husband for her who would be a father to her child. Joseph was a priest of the temple who was a teacher. He was in his 80s. Mary married Joseph, and Jesus gained the spiritual instruction he needed when Joseph took Jesus to Egypt at a young age. The community did not expect Jesus to reject being a king. Jesus joined the Essenes, but he already had the silent knowledge, and he was more liberal than the Essenes. The Essenes were waiting for the end of the world at any moment. They tried to be clean and pure to be ready for when the Master of Justice arrived. Jesus said, I am the Master of Justice, and this is not the end of the world. The Essenes kicked Jesus and John the Baptist out of their community. Two forces worked on Jesus. One told him to become the king. The other told him to change the beliefs of his community. The Jewish people were worshiping a force in the temple that was not God. Jesus was dangerous to the Pharisees, who saw that he was very well known as the probable Messiah, but they denied it. Jesus began going in a different direction from what his followers expected. He did not choose to be king, but to profess love, forgiveness, and truth. Then his image changed, and many saw him as a prophet. He began thinking of himself as a son of God, although not the only son of God. In Israel, the ideal was monotheistic, but in other countries at the time, such as Rome, Egypt, and Greece, there was a belief in semi-gods. Caesar proclaimed himself God. Therefore, it was not weird for Jesus to proclaim himself a son of God. He said we are all God's children. He said, God is love and forgiveness rather than a God to fear. Jesus said, I am the Son of Man. You are my brothers. God is our Father. My Father doesn't want sacrifices. They had thought of God as remote. The people loved and followed him. The ideas he taught were a threat to the temple, and the temple leaders wanted him gone. Although many priests favored Jesus, they knew that with Jesus they could be free. There were many meetings in the temple. Jesus spoke of bringing heaven on earth. My kingdom is not of this world. It is a place of love where everyone is kind, he said. His apostles were excited about arriving in Jerusalem. They thought they would be victors and Jesus would proclaim himself king. The temple expected him to say this. If he did, there was no way the Pharisees would stop him. They invited Jesus to the Sanhedrin, which was the highest judicial and ecclesiastical council of the nation with 70 members. He said, No, I will not become king. Do not tempt me. He predicted the crowd would kill him. This was to be his destiny. Jesus began a new covenant between man and God. Despite all the corruption of his teaching, that covenant is still valid. The present time of the sixth son is the time of Jesus' prophecy. All events around the world are inseparable. What happened in Jerusalem happened in Teotihuacan. Jesus was also Quetzalcoatl. All avatars speak of love and forgiveness, but Jesus proved these things in action. Hope you guys enjoyed that excerpt, and I hope it provides clarity as far as how I see the Christian tradition. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Peace.
Do you believe in repenting? What if the kingdom of heaven's within you? Do you think you would enter, huh? What do you know, huh? How do you know truth? From the pit of your soul or just cause somebody told you? Do you think about what you think about? Do you see yourself in the people that you hang around? Keep quiet, let me think aloud. Listen up, wanna break it down and question your perceptions. I'ma break it down and question your perceptions. Do you ever question your perceptions? Do you ever question it? Oh yeah. What if your money was worthless? Then would you know what your worth is and reconsider living with a purpose? How would you determine what work is? Are you seeking what's easy to purchase, or is it deeper than what's on the surface? Do you question your perceptions? Ever so is real, huh? It ain't your politicians, nor your status. All of that is fiction, so it's real, huh? It ain't your entertainment, nor the industry. I heard it's filled with fake shit. And I need truth over everything, yeah. I need truth above all else. Just I need truth over everything, yeah. Give me the truth, give me the truth, give me the truth, yeah.